Alcyone, also referred to as the Hen, a fixed star feature, written, directed, and produced by Rev Dr Dikki-Jo Mullen. Alcyone is a fixed star and the brightest star in the Pleaides constellation. Rev Dr. Mullen will discuss the association between Alcyone and the planets and will talk about its current transit. We will now listen to Rev Dr. Dikki-Jo Mullen's presentation of Alcyone.
Hello, I'm Dikki-Jo Mullen, astrologer and paranormal investigator in Orlando, Florida, coming to you with a series we have here on Facebook Astrology about the fixed stars of the zodiac. The fixed star to look at this month is one called Alcyone, the hen. Alcyone is one of the fixed stars that twinkles from the vast reaches of outer space. These stars are far outside of our familiar solar system, located beyond the planets, which are interpreted within the familiar horoscope. The fixed stars actually do move slowly, so the name fixed star is something of a misnomer. This is due to the precession of the equinoxes. The stars shift barely a zodiacal degree within a span of 72 years. Scientists estimate the age of Alcyone at about 100 million years old. This star is about 440 million light years away from our sun, yet it's so huge, so large and bright that its influence is significant and obvious. Tycho Brahe, a Danish astrologer and scientist and astronomer who lived from December 14th, 1546 to October the 24th of 1691, made important discoveries and observations in the development of measuring and fixing the positions of various significant stars. The relevance of certain stars has been noted much longer than that, way before Tycho Brahe's time. The about 130 BC, Hipparchus of Greece, Nicaea, Greek astrologer and scientist, mentioned influential stars. And also about 149 AD, Ptolemy of Egypt expanded upon that earlier work from Greece. Alcyone is the brightest star in Pleiades, a well-known constellation identified with the seven daughters of Atlas and Pleione in mythology. Alcyone was a princess of Thessaly, and the mother-in-law, her mother-in-law was Venus. She was married to a son of Venus. Venus is the morning star, the bright star in the heavens. In China, Alcyone is the sixth star in Ixu, a constellation dubbed the Hairy Head, because the grouping of stars in Pleiades can resemble a circle of streaming hair-like lights. The Pleiades constellation has inspired many myths around the world. One is that the stars symbolize a flock of hens, and that's where our name for Alcyone comes from. It can be translated as the hen. Alcyone has recently shifted away from the zodiac sign of Taurus, where it has been for many, many years, and currently, this is 2025 to 2026. It's moving to 0 degrees of Gemini. This rare sign shift is very important astrologically and in horoscope interpretation. The planet Uranus is moving over that very degree of the zodiac, the last degree of Taurus, to 0 Gemini throughout 2025 and 2026. Uranus will move all the way into Gemini and no more retrograding back into Taurus starting April 26th of 2026, where it will remain until August of 2032. The influence of Alcyone will become especially apparent when Uranus completely activates the early degrees of Gemini in the near future. This last occurred during World War II, and cultural and political events which took place at that time during the late 1930s and 1940s have shaped global situations ever since. Alcyone combines the qualities of the moon with Mars. Truth is the daughter of time, and events which occur in 2026 will offer insight into the specifics of what the transit of Uranus conjunct the fixed star Alcyone is going to mean in the long run to events on planet Earth. The fixed stars have very small orbs. Most astrologers will allow only a degree or two from an exact conjunction. Other aspects aren't considered to be significant. However, if the sun, moon, or a planet does conjoin a star in a natal chart, the impact can prove to be profound over the person's entire lifetime. If a conjunction with a fixed star occurs in a natal chart, its impact has to be considered. When interpreting future trends, a planet conjunct a fixed star often correlates with really significant events or for personal life experiences. Those born from May 19th to the 22nd of any year will have Alcyone conjunct the natal sun. This can indicate great determination and a desire to assume positions of leadership. The boss in a real estate office that one of my regular clients has Alcyone conjunct her sun, and she definitely is a really good case study. Looking at the horoscopes of people we know is very helpful in understanding and working with the fixed stars. Here are some keywords for the moon and the various personal planets when they are in orb of a conjunction with Alcyone. That would be from 29 degrees of Taurus to 2 degrees of Gemini. For those who have the moon there, challenges during the life are many. Don't procrastinate. It's important to stay active if you have this and fulfill your obligations. If Mercury is conjunct this star, strategy is important to overcome disappointments, and there seems to be a special needs person in the family, usually a child that might have autism to overcome or other conditions. This is when the parent would have Alcyone conjunct natal Mercury. Alcyone conjunct Venus, passions are exceptionally strong. Careful management of finances, emotions, and how these can affect love and money management. Really, really important to look at when Alcyone is conjunct Venus. Alcyone conjunct Mars. Be aware of and avoid accident hazards. Don't let arguments accelerate. Be very cautious if coping with fire in any way. Alcyone conjunct Jupiter. Legal matters need attention. Follow the rules. A relative might become estranged from the rest of the family. Alcyone conjoining Saturn, health issues must be addressed promptly, and chronic sickness and anything that involves tumors might need treatment. Conjunct Uranus, this is what's coming up right now. Alcyone will be conjunct Uranus 2026, 2025. Faith and fidelity issues surface. And it's a time to avoid hazardous weather, environmental, or political conditions. Alcyone conjunct Neptune and Pluto would be very unusual because Neptune hasn't been there since the turn of the early 20th century, and it's over 100 years for the orbit of Neptune to go around the sun. Pluto, it's much longer. It's so much further in outer space. Pluto is just now in the early 21st century where it was during the time of revolution, the American Revolution in the 1700s. However, historically, looking up astrology and where Neptune was in the early 20th century, Alcyone there showed military honors that were won, World War I. Helpful friends are of significance, and a surprise regarding heritage, parentage can bring a twist of fate. If Pluto is involved, secrecy is present, truth seeking is important. Uphold the highest and brightest ethics to enjoy and cope with situations and prolong peace. I'm Dikki-Jo in Orlando, Florida, reminding you to keep watching the stars and on a very dark night, just take a deep, close gaze into space. If you have just some ordinary binoculars, all the colors and sparkling lights are light years away. A light year, of course, the speed of light is 186,000 miles a second. So you can imagine how far away even one light year would be, let alone years of light years. So we're looking at vast, vast distances. Currently, in the world of astronomy, the Webb telescope is big news. And looking through the telescope and into space, we just see more and more distance. There's no end to it all. It goes on and on. Being in Florida, I very much enjoy opportunities to go out on a boat away from the ambient light of the city and to look up at the stars just through a pair of binoculars. And it is absolutely awesome. If you feel your world is limited and if little problems seem to be overwhelming, looking at the perspective in terms of the universe itself can be a good mental exercise. I'm Dikki-Jo in Orlando, Florida, and I hope you enjoyed this video about a fixed star in the famous constellation of Pleiades.
Thank you for watching the video. Reverend Dr. Dikki-Jo Mullen has been gifted with several psychic learning styles that she has developed over her lifetime. Each of us has been gifted with innate psychic learning styles as well that we may choose to develop. Reverend Dr. Dikki-Jo Mullen is an astrologer, psychic, and parapsychologist. She provides astrology, psychic, rune, and tarot card readings. She provides face-to-face and Zoom readings and seances. She offers webinars, face-to-face individual and group sessions as well. Here are Dr. Mullen's social media sites. Her email recently changed. She offers inspirational insights on her WordPress site. She has more than 200 related videos on her YouTube channel and also maintains a Facebook page. Reverend Dr. Dikki-Jo notes that use of the internet enhances the psychic energy of her work. She observes that this is a result of the fusion of her earthbound energy, her psychic energy, and internet energy working together. She encourages you to explore and develop your innate psychic learning styles.